But you're taking things, like you're taking like actual things, like porn addiction, and you're tying it into a completely conspiratorial thing that doesn't do anything.
It's not conspiratorial. What I just said was true. A rabbi owns Pornhub.
But that's probably true. Like, I imagine you're right. I'm sure you've done your research on it. But that's also so inconsequential because I don't think it ties into this bigger narrative of the Zionists trying to keep SNEAKOs weak or anything like that.
Where's my apology? These people now take these talking points and act as if it's their own, while not giving credit to the people that lost everything to do this when it was unpopular. Now this is popular. Now everybody knows about GLM. Now they know about Goyim. In the words of Jeffrey Epstein, Goyim, they're the ones who are supposed to work hard. Well, Jeffrey Epstein and his people can make money from finance. He represents the Rothschilds, the central bank system. The Goyim are the subhuman. He doesn't care. He doesn't even think that they're worth existing the way that he can. He sees them as resources. So of course, Epstein believes that he can use things like porn, feminism, all the media, literally everything that you consume that's out of the frame of what God wants you to do, all that is used as goy slop. Jeffrey Epstein is the reason your favorite celebrity is silent about Palestine. The reason that you see all these talking heads run cover for Israel and they're not vocal at all. They're very vocal about the Holocaust that happened 100 years ago, but they're not vocal about the Holocaust happening now. The reason is they either have connections they're getting paid for, or they're tied directly to the pedophile blackmail operation that's used to gain support for Israel. That's why it happens. The only reason that people turn a blind eye to genocide happening now and act like what happened 100 years ago is the only thing we're supposed to talk about. The holy, the holy, the holy, the holy. Let's talk about the holy now. The reason is because of this island. That's why this was used. Let's remember that. These talking heads, I see a lot of boomers and idiots, they'll talk about Judeo-Christian values because they don't know any better. But celebrities, talking heads, these people ignoring Palestine, they do it because of Epstein. '23 of March, I tweeted, if COVID was made in a Wuhan lab, how are we supposed to believe AIDS came from monkeys? There's no cure for cancer after almost a century, but the COVID vaccine was made in 6 months. It's almost like there's a reason top scientists dominate Epstein's client list, 2023. And now we can see that even in the Epstein files, you saw Bill Clinton was planning a pandemic simulation. Allegedly, apparently, what it looks like. Larry and I have been working on deliverables. This is from Bill Gates. At Larry's request, I've spoken with Roger, and over here at the bottom it says, white paper recommendations of neurotechnologies for chronic disease. White paper neurotechnologies as weapons in national intelligence defense. Follow-up recommendations and technical specifications for strain pandemic simulation. Was one of my strikes on YouTube. Obviously, YouTube then apologized, and they said, thank you for your patience, but essentially you were right, and they unbanned me. Bill Gates has said numerous times that he was on the Epstein Island and that he regrets it. Here is a clip of him talking about it right here.
Knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of
If you can't see, here's Jeffrey Epstein.
many people who regret ever knowing him.
You've no doubt seen the allegations, including some of them from the last 24 to 48 hours. Are they true?
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is, false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret and I, apologize that I did that.
The problem is some of the things that he has sent and some of the information about other people that has come up in those files has been true. Why would he do this and say this about you, do you think?
It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women.
Said Microsoft penis. Really, dude? Like, really? Like, right now you're going to joke?
And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
So, I got tech teams in Israel. I've got an Israeli girlfriend. I've got The Israelis could pull the operation on Hustlers University whenever they want. Makes sense, huh? Thanks for the 20. Sound like a brother. You look like a Bangladeshi like me with that hair color.
And the KPP
brother coming
will be
Bangladesh,
good.
WCO,
Keep
JK,
it up.
Bangladeshi. Okay, thank you for specifying that was a joke. I appreciate it. Thank you for the 20, bro. Ramadan Subathon about to hit. Yes, Ramadan coming up very soon. Got to be preparing for that. It's going to be a very great Ramadan. And also, I hope it's a successful Lent to all the Catholics in here as well. Continuing on. I'm going to watch the Ben Shapiro video, see all this stuff. Here's the Sarah Sock. All right, here, let's go back. And I want to show you a little bit more about this rhetoric because I think, yeah, again, let me specify, it's important to remember who was telling the truth and who wasn't. This is a debate that I had with Moist Critical in July of 2024, back when I was still banned on YouTube for the reasons that I'm now right about. Funny, huh? Right here, let's see what Moist Critical was saying. I did not have YouTube at the time. He did. He didn't post this. It was only on Rumble and X. Let me unmute. This is still muted. Do you know who owns Pornhub, for example?
MindGeek.
MindGeek. You know who controls MindGeek?
Couldn't tell you.
A rabbi.
Is that right? I mean, I didn't know.
Okay, do you know who controls the music industry? The people like, Ice Spice, she says, Papa Perk, twerk, Papa Perk, twerk. You know who controls the music industry?
Who?
All Zionists. And they use black culture to promote degeneracy, and that's how you get these wiggers that run around saying nigga all the time and doing this stuff. That's how you get this culture, because they listen to rap music so much they get brainwashed, they start shooting, popping perks, they want to be cool. The idea of cool now for white people is acting like a thug black person that they hear in the music. The reason that they do this is to keep us controlled, to keep us weak. Because when you're using your life force all the time, would you agree that watching porn, jerking off, would you agree that it lowers your energy?
Well, that's a very real thing, yeah. Porn addiction, all that's a bad thing for sure. But you're taking things, you're taking actual things, like porn addiction, and you're tying it into a completely conspiratorial thing that doesn't do anything.
It's not conspiratorial. What I just said was true. A rabbi owns Pornhub.
But that's probably true. I imagine you're right. I'm sure you've done your research on it. But that's also so inconsequential because I don't think it ties into this bigger narrative of the Zionists trying to keep SNEAKOs weak or anything like that.
Where's my apology? These people now take these talking points and act as if it's their own, while not giving credit to the people that lost everything to do this when it was unpopular. Now this is popular. Now everybody knows about GLM. Now they know about Goyim. In the words of Jeffrey Epstein, Goyim, they're the ones who are supposed to work hard while Jeffrey Epstein and his people can make money from finance. He represents the Rothschilds, the central bank system. The Goyim are the subhuman. He doesn't care. He doesn't even think that they're worth existing the way that he can. He sees them as resources. So of course, Epstein believes that it can use things like porn, feminism, all the media, literally everything that you consume that's out of the frame of what God wants you to do, all that is used as goy slop to keep you down while people like Epstein control the entire world. And back then, Moist Critical called me a conspiracy theorist. What now? What now? Stole that shit! It's clips, not mags. It's clips, not mags. Apologize.
That is corruption. It's called corruption.
My point is, the reason that you hold on to this belief so dearly that 18 is the age of consent is because they want us to believe this so much. They want us to have this idea of age of consent, age of consent, age of consent, and now we don't even believe in marriage anymore. Now we believe in this idea of frivolous sex. Now we believe that, oh, okay, I'm 18, I can consent now, I can have sex. When that shouldn't even be a term. The term should be age of marriage.
Doesn't do that.
Yes, it does. Age of consent, just that word implies sex out of wedlock.
Okay, but first, there's a couple things here. First of all, the age of consent, if it wasn't there, it's not going to lead to more marriages magically. There's a lot of societal things, such as job, economy, housing market. You know those things. Getting rid of the age of consent doesn't magically fix that.
No,
if you don't,
it doesn't matter. Is more politicians win elections. They put that on their website. They talk about it all the time. Zionists, they openly talk about how they control. It's not a secret. Why do you think that they do that? Okay, so let's follow my line of questioning. Why do you think the Zionists that boast about it, that control Hollywood as well, if you look at the list of these people, the directors that produce all these people, it always goes back to the same place. That's why Harvey Weinstein got accepted for having sexual blackmail things. That's why. Who is now implicated on the Epstein files? Harvey Weinstein. Or the Epstein Island thing. They had connections to all these Hollywood directors and all these people. They blackmail these people sexually to push a certain. So why is that?
Well, just general corruption. Corruption exists in all of its forms, man.
True.
There's not some kind
True,
of.
but it's predominantly. It's predominantly
It's just
Zionist.
corruption. It's literally corruption.
No, it's not just corruption. It goes deeper. It goes into an ideology system, which we've now seen. So. Hey, thanks for the 10. Hey, SNEAKO, seen a lot of people sold their crypto due to Epstein's involvement with Bitcoin. Do you know what his exact involvement with crypto was via the Epstein file? Keep it up. I need to look into that. I don't know. I see people are saying that Israel controls Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true. I think that could be speculation. I still believe in Bitcoin, but if that is true, then I guess we got to find something else. I know it's tanky. It's low right now, but I do believe in it overall. You're saying sell it. I think that might be. Let's don't panic right now. Don't panic. That's my opinion, but obviously I'm not a financial advisor. What do I know? What do I know? Here it is. Here's another one.
Don't think it ties into this bigger narrative of the Zionists trying to keep SNEAKOs weak or anything like that. That is.
Saw that. Okay. I think. Well, do you think he's ever going to upload this debate? Probably not. I mean, I've since posted it, but it's kind of moved on. Here's more.
Being against race mixing.
He wants to continue the white race because the Zion. Okay, move on. Facetious, and this is why clips and headlines and the this is why fake Zionist news like controls the minds of people. Do you actually believe that he thinks people should call the FBI and say there's more? Okay. Ian Carroll just texted me. I want to bring him on stream as well. Let's see if he's ready to come on. I am going to bring Bryce Mitchell. What did Ian Carroll say? What time are you thinking? Ooh. Whenever you're free tonight. Cool. We could bring on Ian Carroll just like that.